Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid Copa del Rey Semi-Final second leg preview. Now, this is going to be one of Barca's most season-defining games this season, I think, alongside another week that they're going to have in May, which I'll discuss a bit later. But tomorrow is going to be an imperative game for Barcelona because it's their chance to reach their first big final this season. And I know they reached the Super Cup final and they won it in January, but the Super Cup is a Super Cup. Copa del Rey is a different tournament. It's a more of a highly respected tournament as it's a longer tournament. It's the King's Cup. It's the domestic cup of Spain, and it's going to be very important for Barcelona to reach this final because, like I said, it will be season defining. So let's take a look at the circumstances of tomorrow's game. According to SofaScore, this will be the lineups for tomorrow. Chesney in goal for Barcelona, Balde, Inigo Martinez, Kubarsi, and Koundé, and that's actually the back line I would go for because it's been the most proven backline for Barca this season. Of course, Araujo is picking up form as well, but I think it's going to be fair to go for someone like for this back line because I think Araujo will be more important in the UCL knockout stage because once Barca comes up against the attackers that are devastating, a defensive unit like Araujo will be important. It's going to be Pedri and De Jong in the pivot positions, which I also agree with. I think that should be the case. It's going to be Rafinha, Yamal, and Gavi as the attacking midfielders or the wingers. And I actually wouldn't go for Gavi here. I think Gavi has recently been very good at playing a bit deeper, playing next to Pedro, just playing as more of an 8, more of a deeper midfielder rather than a 10, rather than filling up for Olmo. So I would actually go for Fermin Lopez here. I think he's done well recently, especially he's more of a number 10 than Gavi is. So I'll go for Fermin, but up to Flick, I still think Gavi will put in a shift whether he plays there or not. I just think he's done way better as a deeper midfielder. Of course, Yamal Rafinha is going to be back for this game. And he has rest and he is hungry. I mean, every time Rafinha's played for Barcelona, he has been a monster on the pitch. Relentless pressing, relentless runs in behind, just always involved. And whether he's played a good game or not overall, he still finds a way to get involved, whether it's towards the end or just from the start. Because we saw against Atletico Madrid last game in the league, he didn't have too much of an impact on the left side. He moved toward the right, and then he assisted Ferran Torres for the equalizing goal, I think it was, to make it 2-2. And then spark the comeback. So Rafinha is going to be very important. Now he has rest. It's going to be huge. Yamal, of course. I mean, what planet is this guy from? Because he's 17 years old, and whether he gets a goal or assist or not, he is literally top 2 players on the pitch alongside Pedri. And I mean, he's going to be very important to create chances. Very important to help the team get out of pressure because there's going to be something important about Atletico Madrid that we'll discuss soon after we talk about their lineup. But Yamal, who also needs rest, by the way, I think his minutes need to be managed a bit better. I think if Barca go up very early in this game with a 2 and maybe eventually 3 goal margin, I think Yamal should be given some rest. But it's a big game; he has to start. And of course, up top, Lewandowski, who, as always, he gets the goals, but he's not playing great football. So he plays a poor 60 minutes of a game. He manages to get 1 or 2 goals, and then his impact is still there. But this is a lineup. I think this is how it should be, except possibly Fermin for Gavi. It's a shame that Dani Olmo was injured again. I've said it before. I'm not sure if it's been on YouTube or on Twitter. I've said it before that if he was fully fit for a season and played, at a good level, he'd probably be one of my top 15 favorite players ever because he is just disgusting. But they got to figure this injury thing out. But if you move on to this Atletico Madrid lineup, we've got Oblak, Llorente instead of, I think it's Llorente instead of Molina, based on what they've said on Twitter. But let's look at SofaScore for now. So Llorente, Jimenez, of course, Langley, Galan instead of Reinildo, Simeone, of course, De Paul, Barrios. But I think they've actually opted for Gallagher for tomorrow. But we'll see how that looks. Lino, and then Alvarez and Griezmann. That's pretty standard, of course. Alvarez has been playing out of his skin recently. And it's kind of a shame from a neutral point of view that Griezmann's kind of dropped in form and overall actually dropped in level this season because if he was at a high level, Griezmann, and playing with this current version of Alvarez, they could have been a monster duo and maybe they could have even gotten past Real Madrid if Griezmann was more, in form or, not declining. But they're still going to be a dangerous duo, especially on the counter. Alvarez is relentless, just like Rafinha, and there's going to be a very important game for both teams to, constantly press because I think, according to Twitter here, as we can see, Now, I don't know how true these reports are fully, but this is what this report says according to AS Diario. This is a news outlet in Spain. It says Diego Simeone has rarely appeared as intense and emotional as he did in Atletico Madrid's training session this evening. The Argentine coach seemed very close to his players, shouting, directing, and correcting them. Simeone does not want his team to just chase the ball, but rather to force Barcelona to also run after the ball. He wants his players to take the initiative, to attack, to press, and to have the courage to impose their style on the Catalan team. Simeone called on his players to be brave, bold, and manly, not in defense, but in attack. Now, just from this, what the report is initially, saying is that apparently Simeone wants to play more of an attacking style against Barcelona. Now, I've never even seen this from Simeone. I've never even seen a report about Simeone wanting to play more attacking. Now, I'm not sure if this is true, this specific part of it, because if he's going to play attacking for the first time that I've seen, it's going to be against this Barcelona team. And this Barcelona team, if you attack and give them space, they will decimate you. Not destroy, they will decimate you. Because if they find space with the creative players that they have, with the players that can drive up that they have, with De Jong, with Pedri, with Balde, with the runners that they have, and Rafinha, for example, and if they do play with Fermin as a runner as well from in behind, you will concede goals. Now, I think both teams will score goals in this game, but I think it's going to be a case of Barcelona scoring more if that's the case. Hopefully that is the case. But let's continue here. He emphasized that they are top-level players who must try to control the ball, dribble, create, and do unexpected things to upset their opponents. In short, Simeone wants his team to play attacking football. There it is. The Argentine held a training match against a group of youth team players, giving them strict instructions to apply high pressure without mercy on the first team players. The goal, to accustom the team to playing under pressure and building attacks despite harassment. Diego wants to play with quick passes and runs into space through Marcos Llorente on one side and Juliano on the other, while Griezmann and Julian Alvarez support the ball outings and then advance towards the penalty area. Of course, Alvarez is a monster at that. The plan may or may not work, but what is certain is that Simeone is trying by all means to change Atletico's traditional image against Barcelona. He wants his team to play, not just run. What's important to make the point of here is that March has been a woeful month for Atletico Madrid. I mean, this is the month where they have lost a season effectively, and everything's crumbled in front of their eyes. If you go back to the start of March, so they had the win against Bilbao at home. That was a massive win, of course. They go to Madrid away in the Champions League's first leg. They lose. They lose to Getafe. They go to Madrid. I mean, they play against Madrid in the second leg of the Champions League semi-final. They win, of course, on paper, but they actually get knocked out. And not just how they got knocked out, but the way it happened. Whether it was controversial or not, the terms of the referee, what happened with that, the fact that the slip of Alvarez was that minute, that small, that it led to him touching the ball, that little, whether he did or did not, the fact that it was such a minor thing that led them to being knocked out, it just put their month of March in a nutshell. It was just not a good month for them. Of course, they also lost to Barcelona after being 2 goals up and conceding 4 goals in the last 20 minutes, and then they drew to Espanyol. So a very bad month for Atletico Madrid, where they basically won 1 game out of what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games, 1 win. You can say they beat Madrid, but they actually got knocked out, so it doesn't count as a win. So they won 1 game out of 6, and it's a poor month. They're coming out of a very bad period for them, and this Copa del Rey semi-final game is literally their last resort of a chance at silverware this season. It's the only thing they have left going for them. If they do not win this game tomorrow, they might as well not play any games left, because they're falling behind in La Liga. And then if they get knocked out of this, they'll be out of every competition. So I think they're going to have to go all out. That's what Simeone wants. They're going to be playing with complete life on the line tomorrow. And I think it's going to be important for Barcelona to manage the game well, because they're still competing for all 3 trophies. I mean, they're still the favorite for this Copa del Rey trophy if they win tomorrow. They're the favorite of the UCL currently, I think, alongside PSG or Real Madrid or whoever it is. And they're in first in La Liga. So Barca's competing for all 3 trophies. They have to make sure that they can win this game, but not have too much of a toll taken on their players, whether it's with fatigue or injuries, because now there's no more international breaks, but there's going to be games for a club every 3-4 days. And it's going to be important to not only manage the games well, but it's going to be important to have the players coming back from injury, completely healthy and not relapse, not just continuously getting injured because Casado's out, Olmo's out. Apparently Christensen's coming back. So there's already 2 players that are out for Barcelona that are imperative players, and it's going to be important to win this game. I think if Barca win this game, let's look at the schedule real quick. If Barca win this game, it's going to be a massive momentum boost because reaching your first final of the season away at Atletico Madrid is going to be just, like I said, a massive momentum boost. I mean, this is what any team needs, and I think this game tomorrow will be one of the big season deciders for Barcelona. This is the first one, and I also think the week of the Clásico in May, the home Clásico in May, which is going to be May 11th. That's going to be imperative because we can see here the UCL semifinal. I mean, quarterfinal, second leg is in April 15th. If Barca gets past Dortmund, I think the first leg of the semifinal is on the 30th of April, which means that the second leg will be in the same week, I'm pretty sure, as a game against Madrid. So this game tomorrow and the week of this Clásico game will be season defining because Hansi Flick is a mentality monster. Even if they lose, maybe they can bounce back. But to win these games will be a beast, monster mentality boost. It's going to be important to get this job done. Make sure the team feels fresh for the coming games because the games come now quickly. It's a tough schedule that they're playing in because, of course, the people who run the sport want to just keep farming money. But that's the circumstances they're playing under. I think it's going to be a very good game to watch. I think that it's time to get serious for Barcelona. They've already been serious, but it's time to maintain that. And let me know what you guys think. And I'll do a match review tomorrow. But for now, peace.